Journey to the Center of the Earth. Episode 1. The Old Book and the Secret Message. Before we begin tonight's adventure, let's take a moment together to find stillness. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel the cool air softly filling your lungs. Hold gently for a moment and slowly release, feeling the day's tensions quietly fading away. Once again, breathe slowly in, peaceful and calm, and slowly out, releasing any lingering thoughts, gently drifting into tranquility. Now, let your breathing find its natural rhythm, effortless and calm. A still summer in Hamburg. The summer of my 19th year draped over Hamburg like a golden veil, warm, silent, and suspended in time. Even the usual clatter of trams and distant factory whistles seemed hushed, as though the city itself had paused to listen. Our house, set back behind iron gates entwined with ivy, breathed with age. The red brick walls glimmered in the afternoon light, and wooden shutters swung softly on their rusted hinges. Aunt Marta's garden sent forth the delicate perfume of lavender and rose petals. Along the path, chestnut trees rustled in whispered lullabies. Every step toward the study felt as though I were walking into a hidden world of parchment, ink, and dreams waiting to be uncovered. An ominous discovery. I had just returned from Herr Becker's apothecary, ink bottle in hand, heart lightly fluttering with anticipation, when I heard the shout. Axel. The voice thundered, startling a magpie into a frantic caw. My pulse quickened as I sped down the polished corridor toward the study door. Through the diamond-paned window, I saw him. Professor Liedenbrock, spectacles teetering on the tip of his nose, arms flung wide, clutching a small leather-bound volume. When I entered, he spoke as though the world itself hung on his words. "Behold," he exclaimed, placing the sheepskin-bound book on the desk with reverent care. This belonged to Arne Saknussemm himself. The cover was cracked and darkened by age, etched with strange runes I could not decipher. Legend whispered that Saknussemm was an alchemist who vanished seeking secrets beneath the earth, and now his journal lay before us. Candlelight and cipher. That evening, we lit 2 tall tallow candles. Their flames trembled, casting dancing shadows across globes, minerals, and maps. I sat at the desk, the hidden parchment unfurled before me. My uncle consulted an ancient lexicon, muttering Icelandic words under his breath. Yet the cipher resisted even his formidable intellect. Frustration creased his brow as he leaned back, eyes closed. "We must think differently," he muttered. I picked up a small hand mirror, used for examining mineral specimens, and hovered it so the candle's glow passed through the parchment, then reflected back. The runes shifted, some elongated, others inverted, and Latin letters emerged from the chaos. With trembling lips, I read aloud. descend into the crater of Sneffelsjökull, which the shadow of Scartaris touches before the kalends of July. Bold traveller, and you will reach the center of the earth. I have done so. Arne Saknussemm. The room fell silent. Candles seemed to hold their breath. My uncle leaned forward, eyes wide with wonder. You read it, he whispered. You truly read it. I nodded, pride and fear warring in my chest. He claims to have reached the Earth's core, I murmured. And now he's left us an invitation, he said, voice soft but firm. A map to the greatest journey ever known. Plotting the course. Under candlelight's flicker, we gathered every map and chart we could find. My uncle smoothed the brittle edges of the parchment over a large map of Europe. Then, finger to map, he traced our pending route. From Hamburg through Berlin, across the North Sea to eastern England, up through Scotland and past the Shetland Isles. Finally landing on Iceland's west coast, at Mount Snæfellsjökull. He pointed to the crater rim, its icy lip drawn in fine detail. The shadow of Scartaris, he explained, falls upon the crater before July 1st. That is our window. We must arrive in June and time our descent at dawn. I swallowed. June. We leave in June. His gaze was steely. Yes, Axel, preparation begins at once. Provisions and preparations. By lamplight, we assembled our necessities. Clothing and shelter, heavy woolen coats, waterproof trousers, leather gaiters, fur-lined gloves, woolen socks, insulated caps, and a compact canvas tent. Tools and equipment, iron pickaxe, steel hammer, 10-meter hempen rope, grappling hooks, pitons, folding ladder. Lighting, 8 iron oil lanterns with spare chimneys, 30 beeswax candles, tinder and flint. Provisions, 3 weeks of dried venison, salted pork, 200 hardtack biscuits, 10 kegs of water, jars of pickles, a small cask of brandy. Scientific instruments, pocket barometer, brass compass, medical thermometer, sextant, quadrant, notebooks, and quills with ink. Safety and medicine, bandages, salves, laudanum tablets, and a horn whistle for signaling. I added margin notes in neat script, spare rope, extra notebook, pocket knife. He nodded, a proud smile tugging at his lips. We shall need a local guide familiar with glaciers. I have written to Reykjavik for a man named Hans. Dinner by lantern light. That evening, Aunt Marta served roast pheasant, buttered peas, and thick rye bread. The dining room glowed under an oil lamp, its warm light dancing on fine china. My uncle, usually lost in thought, savoured each bite as though gathering strength for our voyage to come. He spoke of securing passage on a Bremen freighter bound for Reykjavik, charting trade winds and currents, and navigating icebergs. His voice wove a tapestry of distant seas and storm-tossed decks. Aunt Marta listened with gentle concern. Will it be safe? He reached across to take her hand. With careful planning, rigorous science, and unwavering courage, we shall prevail. A night of anticipation. Later, in my attic room beneath sloping roof boards, sleep proved elusive. I lay beneath my quilt, mind alight with visions of cavernous halls and subterranean oceans. The distant tick-tock of the clock echoed like a heartbeat, lulling me toward dreams. In those dreams, I stood at the crater's brink, wind howling around me, the polar sky alive with auroral ribbons. I climbed down, each step echoing in blackness so complete it pressed upon my lungs. A single torch cast a cone of golden light, revealing walls striated with crystalline veins. Water dripped in cadence, as though marking time in the deep. Suddenly I was on a vast plain of glowing fungi, casting a pale blue glow. Rivers of molten mineral light wound between towering pillars of stone. Far off, I saw a stoic figure, Hans, his lantern a beacon in the gloom, beckoning me onward. My heart pounded with exhilaration and fear as the earth's hush enveloped me, promising secrets older than memory. And then I awoke, breath short, the quilt tangled, sweat beading my brow. Yet even in the dim hush, the echo of my dream lingered like a promise. Now, dear listener, let your breath return to steady rhythm. Feel the soft weight of sleep drawing near. Picture our crates of provisions, the sturdy ship awaiting in the harbour, our letter to Hans winging northward. Imagine dawn breaking as we step onto the deck, salt wind in our faces, hearts humming with anticipation. And now, let that spark of excitement dim into gentle warmth. Allow your eyelids to grow heavy. Sink into the calm embrace of dreams. Good night, dear traveler, until we meet again.